An ocean, a cave, a dream that no one could save.
I think typically people would expect the answer to this question would be some grandiose location that you should immediately set off to, or some experience to be found in the downtown core of Tokyo that is really extravagant and amazing, and you might say quintessentially Japanese. But what I would borrow is this idea instead of, you'll see often these pictures posted on Reddit of these shots that are mocked for how basic they are, and yet people are so excited to show them as an example of how Japan is incredible. What's mocked about these pictures is that what people are enjoying seems kind of naive, because the thing that they've taken to be spectacular and so different and culturally iconic for Japan is probably a boring side street that looks like a billion different side streets that you're going to find in Japan. But I actually think that there is an incredible truth there in what is most enjoyed when you first arrive, and that is the excitement of an initial impression. And where everybody rushes off the plane to go and do a million things, it's like our minds are not so ordered in our everyday life. If you take one moment to observe them, it's more kind of like a pinball machine, although I may have dated myself to say that. Who plays pinball anymore? But your attention is the ball as it bounces around, thrown into a million pockets off of this paddle onto this paddle. And you don't really have a coherent stream of thought. You're pulled in every direction, and it's very easy to conclude an experience of several months, and somebody could say to you, what was it like? And you would say, amazing. And they would say, why? And you say, I don't know, it just was. And that's usually as a result of this, that we're so caught up in our attention drawn to one thing and the next that we can't have a singular moment that leaves a kind of lasting impression on us. So it is rooted in taking things with a kind of mindfulness. Don't do anything. That's the idea. Allow yourself to slow down and appreciate things that others might think that you were naive for enjoying. But the truth, when all things are relative, is that that is incredible to you. And the simplest thing that is different, it will be viewed through a jaded lens. Someone who's seen it a million times is mundane. But to you, it shouldn't matter that it seems naive to somebody with more experience. It really is incredible. It really is different. And when it's your subjective experience that matters here, you don't compare, I had a more amazing singular experience than you did when you came here. All that really matters is, did you believe that? Belief creates truth in this sense. So if you come over, at the very most, I guess you could say, go for a walk. Go for a walk and try to notice everything. And I mean absolutely everything. I mean the shape of the roads, the trees that are around you. I found that actually quite distinctly the smell was so different from anything that I had ever experienced before. And that was really, really, really cool. I even remember one of the first girlfriends that I had here, in a way that I do believe is not just saying that I stunk. She said that when I first arrived or when we first met, and that was not so long after I'd been in Japan, that she said I smelled distinctly foreign. And I thought that was kind of interesting and funny. But over time, you were saturated by the culture and your experiences here, so I guess that went away. Another parallel, like why this matters, this isn't just hippie talk. It is actually true that you'll have an experience that is more memorable if you take the time to slow down and order your thoughts and order your experience in your mind and what it's meaning to you and how you're going through it. There's a number of studies, neurological studies that are done where in the way in which our direction is focused, with the way in which we prioritize the things that we're interested in, we have totally different experiences. And this ranges from anything like food, for example, to something that you might do which was a little bit more academic or cognizantly focused on some sort of difficult task. For example, you will see when you do this, when you practice a sort of mindfulness to your experience, greater brain activity in whichever element of focus that you're placing your attention on. So for example, if you were to sit down and you were eating a meal, but you're having a heated argument, and this thing that's in front of you is like the best steak that's ever been made, the actual like part of your brain that would become active as a result of enjoying food is dampened and suppressed by that argument that you're having because your attention isn't on it. And in the same way, if you were to do some sort of, as I said, something a little bit more academic or like memory related, where images will be shown on a screen, but if you are aware of what the task is beforehand, that you're told you're going to try and look for images and now remember them, whereas somebody might be shown that and then be informed afterwards what it was that they were going to do, they'll do so much better and recall so many more images. And so this is an appeal then to take your time, to go for a walk. Maybe you are invited to do something a little bit more exciting and majestic. Maybe somebody wants you to go to a really cool restaurant or a beautiful park or place. But when you do, slow down, stop, and really savor that experience as you're having it. Do not so immediately lunge to the next thing that you might do, because that comes at the cost of actually being in the moment, cliche as that sounds, at the time that you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. So that would be my advice to you. The first thing that you should do when you get here is nothing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave that like, subscribe, perhaps hit that bell notification so you're let know as soon as something goes live on the channel. A big shout out and thank you always to my patrons. It means the world to me when people support me there. Please do consider doing so. But for now, the clock has run out.